Hello guys, welcome everyone to Mando Monday. This is a series where you guys ask the questions and I answer them. This could be anything to do with Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Counter-Strike Global Offensive investing, future updates for 2022, Source 2 material, anything about myself, Star Wars, Lego, or the kind of socks I wear. If you guys have any questions for next week's episode of Mando Monday or just in general, the best way to reach me and find a comment for next week's video for me to choose, go to the comments of this video and type in Ask Mando and then ask your question. Without further ado, let's hop right into the video. Now our first question comes up from Lil Homie and he asks, Ask Mando, do you think CSGO will get a massive update that changes the game? Now, I've actually made quite a few videos about this recently and how Source 2, there's been more leaks than ever about Source 2 as of recently, and people have really liked my talks about Source 2 and me covering it because it's a fun topic to think about, right? Because it's also scary at the same time. Because Source 2 is this thing, you know, we've been asking for and wanting since like 2016. People have been talking about it. There's literal YouTube channels about this, talking about Source 2, not just for CSGO, but just for anything that has the Source engine on it in general. And as of recently in Dota 2 for Counter-Strike Global Offensive in relation to Valve as well, I mean, there's been a lot of CSGO Source 2 workshop material, like managers added to the updates of Dota 2, which is really, really interesting. And I feel like on Twitter as of recently, there's been more and more people talking about Source 2. Like there's this one guy on Twitter, Gabe Follower. He follows pretty much everything Valve does with every update, and he just plays around with Source 2 stuff and how Source 2 would look like in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. And it's very, very interesting. And it's just everything like that has been very, very relevant as of recently. And obviously, people haven't really been complaining about Counter-Strike Global Offensive either. So that's the kind of the other part to this take is it's interesting to think about, and it's possible for this year. I think most likely in the next few years we'll get an update like this where it changes the engine and completely changes everything. But most likely for this year, we're probably not going to see much because no one's really complaining about anything. Because the one thing about Counter-Strike Global Offensive and just Counter-Strike in general that people like so much about the game is that it doesn't change. People like CSGO because it never changes. It's just the same game over and over again, and you can just perfect your craft until you're really, really good at it. And it's also with skins as well, and that's a whole other topic and debate. That there's a very, very good chance, I think, in my opinion, that Valve could possibly add two different engines to Counter-Strike Global Offensive. They have Source 2 and they have the Global Offensive, the Source 1 engine, which I think could be pretty interesting. But then again, people would always ask, what's the point of adding a Source 2 engine if no one's going to play the Source 2 engine because it's going to be very, very buggy most likely. And that's probably the biggest debate and debacle that is going to come with that question in the release of Source 2. Is there going to be so many bugs? Are pros going to play on it? Just going to think of it this way too. CSGO has been out for almost 10 years at this point in time, and they've pretty much perfected every bug in the game. There's not a whole lot of bugs. Number 2. The Real JMJ asks, Ask Mando, thoughts on KATOWICE 2019 stickers, just in general investing and looks. So for investing, I mean, I invested back in 2019 for these capsules individually and just stickers in general. For an example, I invested about $500. That is now worth a little over $10,000 just a few years later. Did I think that was going to be worth over $10,000? Absolutely not. I was just a kid in high school, and I was just an idiot, honestly, investing in Counter-Strike. I was like, hey, what's the worst that can happen? Make a few $100 over the course of a few years. What's the biggest deal that's going to happen? Because I thought I was going to play this game forever. Still am to this day. So that was a really, really good investment for myself. But just in general for the looks, I think they're okay. But I think compared to the PGL Major stickers for 2021, I don't really think you can compare, honestly. I think the 2021 PGO Major stickers, especially if you don't like the golds and like the hollow effects, you can just go to the foils because it looks so transparent. It depends if you like that. If you like the circular crafts, kind of like the Kato look and other looks for other years, war stickers in general, then that's definitely your take and you probably want to go that route specifically. But for me, I like them. I like the Furia hollow, and that's really about it. I don't mind the gold dick sticker. That's okay, but honestly, besides those two, those stickers aren't my favorite compared to other years, especially like the newest ones, the PGO Major ones. And I've said specifically, for an investment, they're not the worst idea in the world, but don't expect to make a whole bunch of money on them. As well as for the future, you should just buy up a whole bunch of them anyway for crafts, because these things, in my opinion, are going to go up over the course of a few years, like a decent amount. They're going to probably go up like KATOWICE 2019 prices, where you're not going to see it overnight. You're not going to see it over the course of a couple years, but in like 5 years from now, some of these stickers are going to be worth from like 30 cents to possibly $4, $5, and they're going to add up in value. So if you ever want to play CS for a very long period in time, you see yourself making sticker crafts, that's the reason I would suggest picking some of these up personally. Number 3. Leonard asks, Ask Mando, if you had a Vox Cologne 2014 sticker, when would you sell it? So right now, currently on Buff, these are about $60 US, which is actually pretty high for a sticker like this. It's a pretty good looking sticker as well. And I've said this previously about other stickers from other years, like DreamHack 2014. as well as Katowice 2015 and Atlanta 2017, and possibly even 2018 going into the future. But for right now, this year's sticker, I'm not gonna lie, are probably not the most popular. This is very, very similar to Katowice 2019, like our previous question, and these stickers just aren't the most beloved stickers. They're going to go up in price because they are rare and because they are old in the game, but just because they're really, really rare doesn't mean you can put any sort of price tag on them. So if you're willing to wait a long time, you could possibly make, you know, double the amount you put into it if you bought them at 60 bucks, if you bought them at 40, and it depends what you bought them at too. Like if you've had these since they came out when they were a few dollars, I would sell it now personally and just buy something else. But if you bought it recently, just keep holding on to it unless you really, really need the money, and I just would back out if you really do. Because there's always something I've talked about in my videos, and I've always stated, anything that's old in CS, especially for the, like, I would say 2016 and under, even 2015, you're pretty much golden. Like, those things are very, very rare, and they're guaranteed to go up over the course of a long period in time. Next question. All right, Nut asks, I'm not gonna go into detail about this guy. Ask Mando, how long would it take for the clutch case to reach 40 cents or even €1? By the way, love your vids. Hey, thanks, man. Really, really appreciate it. I see a lot of people have upvoted this comment. They want to see and want to know what's the deal on the clutch case. Well, the clutch case right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's about like 16 cents, I'd say. And there's like 500,000 quantity. This case is definitely going to take a long while for this case to definitely reach up to 40 cents. But right now, the only way I actually see this happening is, since it's in the main primary drop pool of cases, once it gets removed, that's the initial thing I think that could push this case up to like 20 or 30 cents. You look at the CS20 case last year in 2020, I mean, this thing was like 4 or 5 cents, right, at one given point in time. When this thing got removed from the primary drop pool, this thing shot up to like 20, 25 cents at one given point in time. Everyone was buying into it because of the FOMO effect, the fear of missing out. FOMO, not homo. And I think the same thing is going to happen with the clutch case, because it's going to be skyrocketing up in price, and I think it could reach 40 cents at that given point in time. Do I think it's going to stay at 40 cents? Absolutely not. I think it's going to definitely be a few years until we see this case go to 40 cents. And any newer case in CS besides this, honestly, I don't know if we'll see it go to 40 cents anytime in the near future, just because of how many they're dropping and then how many we have in general in the game. But this case is definitely something to look out for if you want a cheaper investment into CSGO, especially if you want to stack some and just buy more over the course of period of time. Now, next question. Yeeter ask Mando, are Boston 2018 autograph capsules a good investment?
Essentially, these are a great investment into Counter-Strike Global Offensive, especially the capsule route in CSGO, mainly because they obviously have the autographs and like the simple gold and all the old golds, and mainly the golds people use nowadays on the majority of weapons in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. These are the ones that people want, maybe besides the 2017 Krakow stickers. Individually, those golds are very, very rare as well, but these are $87 a capsule, especially for the Legends capsule. And capsules in general, they're getting very, very rare, especially from 2018. The most expensive sticker in this capsule is the Lucas 1 gold sticker, which is $1,500 as of right now, which is pretty cool. And the rest are actually not too bad, but honestly, you'd be going for the golds mainly in this if you're getting this capsule and trying to unbox it. So overall, if you're going to invest in capsules, especially from an earlier year, this is definitely one of the best ones you can get.
Next question. Rudolph asks, ask Mando, so once I complete the operation, have all my stars, what should I do with them? Well, there's a few ways you can go about this. As of right now, if you're done with the operation as of right now, obviously it's not fully completed, but if you're done it right now, you could either go all in with RIPTIDE cases and just sell them and just make your money. This is what people did with Operation Broken Fang when the whole case was about $1. So if you had all your stars, you're buying cases, you could come out with actually some really, really good profit. But since the RIPTIDE case is half of what the Broken Fang cost at the current point in time, it's a little more ballsy for sure. If you're going to buy all those, you could sell them. You could also gamble your luck on collections, which I don't suggest doing. There's people who spend thousands and thousands of dollars on these things, which is just a complete gamble and big waste of money for a lot of people, especially if you don't have a lot of money. And, you know, that's a very big gamble. You have like a 1 in 2,000 chance of getting a very good skin. And even then, it's like most of those aren't even rare or worth that much anytime nowadays. I mean, if like you get a Glock Emerald, for an example, it's not worth more than like a couple $100 on a third-party website, right? So you got to look at it that way as well. Me personally, I would just take the safe route and go with the Operation RIPTIDE cases and just sell them right now as I possibly can, as soon as possible. So as soon as you get the operation done, just keep buying Operation RIPTIDE cases, like whatever stars you have right now, put them all into that, cash them out in the Steam market. That's the safest way to go. But if you want to play it, you know, more ballsy, you could go for the Vertigo collection, that skin, those skins in that collection, like the M4 Imminent Danger is going to be very, very rare because not a lot of people have unboxed it. But just because it's going to be rare, like I said earlier, with some stickers and capsules, it's not going to be the biggest price tag in the world. You got to keep that in mind as well. Next question. Ong asks, hey bro, I really wanted to ask your opinion about the RMR capsules from 2020. I hold a lot of them and they seem to keep dropping. What should I do to minimum my loss? Thank you. Well, RMR, I hate to break it to you, man. That was a really, really big loss for all of us. And it was a big learning point for a lot of people. And I think a lot of people pulled out of investing in Counter-Strike Global Offensive because of this exact problem. Now, if you bought into it when it was the initial hype, like myself, like I was buying, you know, Navi gold stickers for 187 US dollars. And that really, really hurt, or when they were very popular back in 2020. And obviously they kept dropping, and now here we are and they're at $9. It was really, really rough because one, we didn't really think the sale was going to last 2 months long. That was the biggest problem. And this is the biggest thing I see with, not RMR, the PGL Major right now. It's kind of like deja vu all over again. It's like, they're just going to keep these in the shop for as long as they want and they do not care. But honestly, you could play it either way, man. You could wait a few years. If you see yourself playing CS in a few years, you could sell them then. But for the most part, I think you should just either take your loss right now and just sell all of them, which is horrible because, I mean, some of them are like 14 cents as of right now, and you're just losing so much money. It's like you're buying these for 25 cents US, right? And then you're going to sell them for like 10 cents US because of all the fees at the end of the day, especially on a third-party website. But your best luck would honestly just be able to sell them on Steam, or if you can find a third-party website like maybe like CS Money, which I know is horrible, you could possibly trade it to them. I don't even know if they're accepting capsules. Probably not, because they're going to be such a pain for everyone to sell. But I would personally just take the loss on it. That's all you can do. Just go forward. Just be really careful and skeptical with investing like this. You learn from your mistakes, like me and like everyone else. And you have to learn too, CS is one of those things where one update, people get annoyed when I say this, but one update could break trading in CSGO. One update could ruin everything. One update could break everything. It could break the economy, which it has before. You got to keep that in mind, especially investing in a Counter-Strike. Next question. Blex asks, ask Mando, what do you think of the Huntsman Ruby as a play skin investment? As well, what is the best time to buy KATOWICE 2015 holos for the summer boom? So I've made a video about KATOWICE 2015 stickers. They're actually a pretty good investment if you can actually get in the initial hype for the summer. They usually boom in the summer. Are they going to boom this summer? Well, we don't really know. Most likely. Usually things like this usually happen over and over again until, you know, you can kind of just see the downwards trend. And there's not really a downwards trend with KATOWICE 2015 stickers. KATOWICE 2014 is obviously running out. And my initial predictions last year was they were going to run out this year. But I think with the price tag on them of $60,000 when they were at their all-time high and they keep going up, and there's people like Trainwrecks TV buying like 5 of these things for like 300,000 US dollars. Yeah, I think they're going to keep going up in price, and I think people are going to turn to older stickers eventually, like Atlanta 2017, Boston 2018, DreamHack 2014, as well as KATOWICE 2015, probably the most popular option beside KATOWICE 2014. So honestly, probably right now, when the market's going to be going down after the new year, right before the summer is when you want to buy them. So after the Chinese New Year, after going into 2022, which we are already in, I would say March or April is when you want to get in that initial hype for KATOWICE 2015. And whatever specific sticker you're looking at, look on every third-party website, whatever has the cheapest trend in price. And obviously this year's a lot different with stickers too, because of the PGL majors, so you want to look into that. And what I think is a Huntsman Ruby as a play skin investment, I think it's pretty good. It's not the strongest investment in the world because knife investments are not usually the greatest, but since you are picking a Ruby on a Huntsman, and just a Ruby in general is just very, very good as a play skin investment because it's obviously the highest tier you can get of a knife. So you earn the most over the course of a year. Like if you're getting an M9 Fade, you're not going to make a whole lot because those are still pretty obtainable for a pretty cheap price. And so is this, but I mean, to open the case, it's very, very cheap. And obviously your odds are very low, but there's still a few unboxed, and just knife investing isn't the best in general if you want to maximize your money versus like cases or just a play skin in general. Now, next question. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Nut asks another question. Ask Mando, hey Luke, what do you think about the M4A4 Red DD Pat souvenir for a long-term investment? Now, I picked this guy's question once again from this guy because I thought this was actually a very good question, and a lot of people have been asking recently about the A1S investing and as well as the M4A4. And right now, since the M4A4 Red DD Pat is available on CSGO for the souvenirs as well as for the operation collections themselves, it's actually a very popular option against people getting these skins in general, especially buying on the Steam market, because there's quite a few of them getting sold because people don't want the skin as of right now. I think it's a very good investment for the long term. I think honestly, for a Red DD Pat, I think the base version is better than the souvenir because for this rarity of a skin, you're going to want the base version for trade ups later on. And obviously with a souvenir, you can't trade up. And souvenirs for this year, I think are chalked in my opinion. They're absolutely messed up. I don't think they're going to be worth a whole lot unless they're a very higher tier skin like a Hydra. Even then, I'm not really too sure because there's nothing to indicate that they're very, very special or rare compared to other years like KATOWICE 2019. There was a simple sticker on like Ops, right? There's a Shroud sticker from the PGL Krakow sticker or Krakow Major in 2017. That makes that op very, very rare. It's the signatures that do it, and there's nothing on these stickers this year besides the map that it's been played on with a PGL Major sticker that you can just buy on the CSGO Steam store and slap it on any weapon you want. So I don't really see the whole hype around this in my opinion. So I would definitely go with the base version, and the M4A4 in my opinion is one of the best options to buy right now because they're so cheap, and Valve is notorious for flipping which gun is going to be better in the future. Last question. Now this is a very popular question that I think a lot of people want answered since I made this video about a video that TDM Jesus made that covered how Chinese really banned the Steam market and how they only have 57 games and how this is going to affect CSGO. And this guy asks, is the China ban really affecting the market in the near future? The quick answer is no. But the long-term answer is we don't know, because we don't know what kind of terms and what they're going to go to kind of stop CSGO and trading in general. But I've always said this in the past. People have always wanted to trade CSGO skins. If there's a will, there's a way. People will get a VPN. People will go to a different country if they have to trade CSGO skins, because you can make a really good living off this if you have a lot of money and you're very good at it. So I don't really think it's going to ban or really affect anything, this ban in general. I mean, look at the market right after it all got announced. Nothing really happened. There was a small thing of like things dropping in price, but not a whole lot. Even on buff, things weren't dropping in price, and that's the biggest marketplace in the world, and it's based in China. So I wouldn't really have much to worry about it. It's just one of those things, once again, that you just have to keep in mind. Like I said earlier in the video, one update could break CSGO. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was a little bit of a longer one. Hopefully you have a good day. Stay positive, stay sexy. Once again, you guys got any questions for long or other videos in the future for Mando Monday, go to the comments, ask Mando, then ask your question. Have a good day, guys.